a psychology major here at LAU, and for the past few months, I've been conducting social experiments in order to find out what topics are deemed too controversial to be joked about. But first, let's have a quick experiment right now. I'm going to display a joke on the screen, and I'll give you a few seconds to read it. Now, I can understand why many of you might think that this is an offensive joke. It's a joke about one of the worst events in human history. And it's tasteless, I'll give you that, but it's still a joke. But here's the thing, why do you feel offended? I firmly believe that offense is taken and not given. There's no way someone can offend you. More or less, you choose to be offended by what you hear. People will take offense about a race or religion you're not a part of. Daniel Sloss said this best. People are now being offended on behalf of other people. They are jumping in front of bullets that were headed towards trees. Now, if we understand the psychological process involved in why people feel offended, you will start to see the absurdity of people taking offense on behalf of others. We're going to look at it from two different schools of thought. First of all, if we look at it from a psychoanalytic perspective, we won't take it to an extreme, but everyone has some form of narcissism dwelling within them. That's because everyone has a system of values and beliefs, and attached to those is their own pride in them. But what happens when someone seemingly attacks or tries to undermine that? That is what narcissistic injury is. It's a blow to your sense of self. Now here's another example of a joke, and I find it hilarious because this is usually what happens when someone feels that they were injured narcissistically. Now see, the thing is, the first one was obviously rude, but the reason the second person felt offended was because he took it personally. But how does he reply to racism and stereotyping? By using the same exact thing. And in cases like this, fighting fire with fire doesn't help any case, because we both look like pigs now. We look at it from the other perspective. We arrive at Dr. Elliot Cohen's work. He's a professor at Johns Hopkins University. According to him, we as humans construct our reality from our own subjective perspectives. People believe that their own personal beliefs become objective truths. When someone believes or thinks that something is offensive, it means that that thing itself really is offensive. But we already viewed that offense is personal, it's subjective. You cannot have an objectively offensive joke, or any word for that matter. A problem with people today is that we are desperate for attention. We are building brick walls around ourselves, and these bricks are made of external recognition and other people's approval. Other people think of us rather than what we think of our own selves. We're constantly looking for people to approve of our pursuits, to find them admirable, to find them worthy. Our Facebook statuses or Instagram or retweets on Twitter. We need that approval from other people. We are putting our self-esteem in other people's hands. And this leads to us setting ourselves up to becoming vulnerable, easy targets, and victims of needless suffering. You do have the ability to not be offended in the first place. With the instinctive thing, some people believe that if you hear something, you have no choice but to be offended by it. You cannot help but be angry or sad by what you have just heard. But that is completely wrong. You do have the ability to not be offended by things. You do have the ability to not need to suppress those emotions of anger and sadness. And finally, the last thing I want to address is the power of words. I'm going to display one more joke because some people believe that a word, no matter the context or usage, is just an offensive word. All right, so I'm not sure how many of you have heard of the Spread the Word to End the Word campaign. Basically, their mission is to tell people to stop using certain words. Words like nigger, retard, faggot, because these words are offensive no matter how you use them. A word by itself, we've already seen, cannot be offensive. So we shouldn't be teaching people to stop saying specific words. We should be teaching people to stop being offended by words. Ricky Gervais said this best. There is no need to disarm the world. Make yourself bulletproof. But you can't make yourself bulletproof overnight, but you can always start now. Thank you.